recent concert a few days ago, which is the origin of this whole drama regarding Stam, he actually came out to drop a massive bombshell detailing why he was MIA for the past 2 years, because this person apparently, as we find out, is a lady whom his wife and himself do not know, have been harassing his wife and spreading malicious lies. And not only that, during like the court proceedings, this lady, whose father is a general, has been taking the stand in place of his daughter and has been threatening them, pull this case out. Otherwise, you two, Stam and his wife, will be charged with a political crime. So apparently, like, the general's wife would go above and beyond and obtain Stam's itinerary, so they know where his whereabouts is, and when Stam makes an appearance in other provinces or at another location, like, he would actually bump into them and whatnot. And it's also revealed that, this lady apparently has been creating situations and spreading malicious lies, posting it up to make people misunderstand his wife. For example, charging into his wife and crying and recording that and making a narrative up saying that, this Stam's wife is bullying me, or sitting next to his wife at some concert and crying and recording a video saying that, Stam's wife just out of the blue was, bashing me. And we also find out that the defendant, who is a woman, has a boyfriend, and this boyfriend is part of a band, and they would wait out on one of like Thailand's biggest music executives to, tell him, lay it out onto this music executive, malicious lies against Stam. And that kind of started this court proceedings, Stam suing the defendant for defamation. Now, it has to be understood that at this point, netizens were like Team Stam. Like, there is a crazy ass sasaeng out there just harassing, going around and following and penetrating into Stam and his wife's personal life. And, people were just kind of like, yeah, we got to focus on that and this abuse of power of an army general threatening a normal citizen. That is not right, trying to frame them. It also had to be understood that people were on a witch hunt to find, number one, who the woman is, number two, who this boyfriend of the woman is, because they want to kind of bash the band as well for letting this go out of hands. And number three, like, this general, who he is, and, is it right to be coercing citizens like this? So, like, certain artists were dragged into like this whole drama, and it was really messy until Tilly Birds came out with a statement admitting that the person involved with this lady, who's the defendant in Stam's case, is actually girlfriend of their sound engineer. And they said that, they as a band, listened to both sides, and they gave different accounts. And they said in the end, they chose to not interfere with the personal private matters of these two parties, just because there is an element of adultery. I don't know the right word, but is it adultery or infidelity involved? And that's when people were like, what does that have to do with anything? But at that point, people were not convinced. They were thinking that, hey, like, Tilly Birds, like, why are you making up this nonsense when the focus is, defamation? So the boyfriend of the defendant, who is the sound engineer for Tilly Birds, came out with the documents to kind of like give like his account or his side of like the whole thing. And it was revealed that, yes, they did admit to harassment and defamation in court, in which they paid 1 million baht. But there was also an element of infidelity as well. But, netizens at that point, they were still Team Stam. That is so juicy. We find out from Kun Bong, who apparently is Kun Stam's friend. He said that he could just not stand Stam coming out to the public to reveal certain truths while omitting a certain truth, while keeping that, squeaky clean image of his, because that is not like the whole truth of what actually transpired. So he dropped like these text messages, like a conversation that he screenshot that showed the ways that Stamp lied. So apparently, the defendant, okay, that we are finding out from these texts, okay, the girl, the lady who's been harassing his wife, who is now the girlfriend of Tilly Bird Sound Engineer, was actually Stam's mistress. And these texts detailed the ways that Stam lied. For example, Stam would lie to Kun Bong about Niu, his wife, not giving his mom money and keeping all the money that he'd earned. But actually, Niu does give his mom money, okay? But it's actually him. It's actually Stam who takes the money and spends it on his mistress. His wife wanted him to come home all the time, but it's him. He would actually go and visit his mistress. And this one right here, his wife is not in the wrong, but it's me. I'm always wanting to go out to see my mistress, and I like to, push the fault, blame it on my wife. And we see more text messages, screenshots coming out. He's been, these chats kind of like, it's like a guy locker room talk, I guess. So he's been like ranting how it's really hard and painful for him to do this, because he feels sorry for his mistress because his mistress doesn't want to lose him. And yeah, Sam, he actually came out just very recent, pretty hot. His apology for making the public misunderstand the issue and implicating a lot of people. This also includes various artists and bands that were not even part of the drama, or bands or artists who know of the situation, and it was just very uncomfortable because they didn't want anything to do with this whole mess, yet they have to kind of take it because they're in the same industry and whatnot.